Hi everyone, welcome to the Windows 365 session, Enhance End User Experience with Cloud Optimized IT Management. I'm Nandita Sharma, Principal PM Manager on the Windows 365 team, and I'm joined by my colleague Doug Coombs.
Hello, I'm Doug Coombs. I'm a PM on the Windows 365 team, and I'm focused on making sure that the cloud PC experience is resilient and always has a great connectivity experience.
In today's session, we'll be sharing what's new and what's coming with Windows 365 Enterprise to help IT admins deliver the best end user experience. So let's get started. Since the preview and general availability of Windows 365, we talked to hundreds of customers and IT admins to understand common issues to manage end user experience. Some common themes we hear are around the struggles to automate workplace experiences to reduce IT burden. IT admins spend a lot of time and resources to maintain tenant health, often struggle to get basic monitoring or troubleshooting capabilities, and rely on legacy tools that have huge operational effort and costs associated with them. They need tools that are scalable and automated with intelligent insights with quick remediation. Admins are also required to manage both physical and cloud endpoints. And for doing this, they use different portals and tools that require additional skills, come with IT experiences that are completely different. Well, physical and cloud endpoint management is just not integrated today. Admins are also asked to create and own business continuity and disaster recovery solutions to reduce risk exposure that comes with critical disasters such as zone outages. This is a very complex space and requires VDI, Azure, and BCDR expertise. And of course, it comes with incremental cost too. And then there are overall costs associated with managing devices that increase the TCO for organizations. These struggles are real, and the lack of modern device lifecycle management impacts employee experience, IT admin productivity, budgets, and of course, end user productivity. To help IT admins, we incorporated the feedback into our offering, and we are excited to announce Windows 365 Cloud Optimized IT Management that addresses key concerns and modernizes IT. Windows 365 Cloud Optimized IT Management is a comprehensive set of capabilities that empower IT admins to provide the best end user experience with simple and out of the box tools. Here are some of the key capabilities of Windows 365 Cloud Optimized IT Management that we'll be sharing with you today. Intelligent insights and monitoring on connectivity and connection quality help admins to identify devices that need attention and take remediation to ensure users are always connected and have a great quality of connection. Utilization reports help organizations manage resources in their tenant, thereby improving total cost of ownership. Built-in point-in-time restore capability provides resilience with business continuity and disaster recovery solutions so that organizations are equipped in case of critical disasters. Dynamic upgrade or downgrade capabilities provide the flexibility and agility of the cloud for end users and IT admins. Alerting capabilities ensure IT admins know about critical issues impacting user productivity. And lastly, resource performance allows admins to assess compute performance and how best to optimize it. Cloud optimized IT management tools are available on Intune, the management portal used by IT admins to manage Windows 365 cloud PCs and physical devices. These capabilities are also included with the base offering of Windows 365, helping organizations manage and optimize TCO. So without further ado, let's dive in and see how these capabilities actually work. Doug, why don't you take over and show how we are delivering these experiences to IT admins?
Thanks, Nandita. and I want to reiterate our appreciation to all of you for taking time with us today. Here I am on the overview page on the Cloud PC Performance tab. This is a new tab in Intune under Device Overview. This dashboard is the place where a Windows 365 administrator identifies devices with issues. Rather than sifting through the entire tenant, Cloud PC Performance is built with anomaly detection and surfaces devices that need immediate attention. It also shows an administrator the option to see all of the devices that have been identified in the report. I can see two reports here, Cloud PCs with connectivity quality issues and also Cloud PCs with low utilization. There are 9 Cloud PCs that have been identified as having connection quality issues, and I want to learn more, so I'm going to view the report. One of the primary areas that impacts the user experience is network performance, which we measure here using round trip time. As you can see, IT administrators have all of the devices identified here that might need attention because they have relatively long round trip times of over 200 milliseconds. I can also see details about the available bandwidth and time it takes for a user to sign in. All of these metrics help provide insight into the user's experience. I have a couple of devices that need attention, and I want to take some action to improve the user experience. As an administrator, there are a few things I could do to improve the round trip time and throughput. If I'm using Azure networks, I could move my Azure network closer to the user location. If I'm using the Microsoft hosted network, I can verify the provisioning policy uses a location close to the user and also ensure there are no firewalls or gateways restricting the user's ability to leverage a UDP connection, which can reduce latency and increase throughput by about 50%. Let me click on Anna's device to get some more granular details. As an administrator, I want to ensure Anna is in a connectable state before I take action to improve her connection quality. With real-time connectivity reporting, I see Anna's device doesn't have access to her cloud PC, and her device is in an unavailable status. So let's resolve Anna's connectivity problem. First, I click on the unavailable status link. Cloud PC service health checks are continually running in the background and inform administrators of potential root causes for devices that are currently not able to connect. In this case, the cause appears to be either the stack listener or an admin policy that needs updated. So I'm going to click on the troubleshooting button to start the built-in Cloud PC troubleshooter. The troubleshooter runs in the background, identifies the issue is indeed the stack listener, and automatically resolves the problem. Anna's device is back in a healthy and connectable state. Now I can go back to Cloud PC Performance and see if the resources and devices that have been assigned to the users are being fully utilized. Do you want to share how this works, Nandita?
Thanks, Doug. CPCs with low utilization is a feature that helps admins understand usage patterns and identifies resources that are underutilized. We often hear from IT admins that the number of assigned users far exceed the number of active users, and admins always want to optimize usage in their environment. They might do this by either downgrading or redeploying those unused or idle resources to new users without paying for incremental licenses. So let's see how this works seamlessly with Windows 365. I clicked on the CPCs with low usage report and I see my entire tenant report here. With anomaly detection, we provide a tenant level view to admins on resources that can be better optimized. Here, I see all the devices with low utilization. And I can also use filters to see devices that have average or high utilization, but I really don't have to worry about those devices that do not need any attention. Let's take an example. I see Mario's device has not been connected for the last 28 days. And by the way, I also have a new user onboarding in a couple of days. As an admin, I can take a decision to either reprovision this device and give it to the new user or resize Mario's device. I don't think I want to deprovision Mario's device because I still want to have Mario have access to his PC and all his data. So maybe I want to resize. But before I take that action, I need some more details. So let's go to Mario's device details and assess what I can do to optimize resources and utilization in my tenant. Here I'm on Mario's device and I see he has an 8-core machine. Remember, I'm also getting a new user that's onboarding in a few days, and I know she needs a higher configuration machine. Since Mario's utilization is low, but I still want him to have a PC with all his data, I can take a downgrade action here and give the 8-core machine to the new user while still ensuring Mario has a device with all his apps and data migrated to the new device and without impacting his productivity. This brings us to the next and one of the most exciting announcements: enhanced resize capabilities. Resize or right size is a unique capability with Windows 365 where admins can dynamically upgrade or downgrade devices to meet user needs and is a pretty popular feature with enterprise customers today. In fact, we just released the preview for downgrades. With an easy click, I'm going to downgrade Mario's device and I will give him 2 vCPU machine. I just click on the resize action. In a couple of minutes, I resize Mario's device and I also have the 8-core device in my inventory ready for the new user that's onboarding in a few days. Now, there could be other issues impacting user connection and experience, such as failed network connections, provisioning policies, or image uploads. For these critical circumstances, we have a new capability called alerting, where admins can receive instant notifications and immediately help users get to a healthy state. Okay, so we have seen how anomaly detection tools on Cloud PC Performance tab work, utilization reports, resize capabilities, and admin alerting. Maybe it's time to change gears and see how cloud optimized IT management helps provide resilience with built-in BCDR feature, point in time restore, to help cope in case of critical disasters. Over to Doug.
We've already shown a lot of great stuff, but to me, we've saved 2 of the best and most exciting announcements for the end of our presentation. That's probably because I've been working on these since before Cloud PC launched well over a year ago. Point-in-time restore has been available in preview for a while and is useful when there's a problem with a Cloud PC that can't be resolved within the device, or maybe the device isn't reachable. In these cases, point-in-time restore can save the day. These circumstances can occur through things like user error, failed updates, and mistaken management actions, as well as malware and ransomware. Before I make the announcements, though, I want to introduce those of you who have not used point-in-time restore to the feature, and for those of you who maybe have seen point-in-time but haven't seen it for a while, do a quick refresher. First, in Windows 365 Enterprise, point-in-time restore is configurable. You can choose how often your restore points are taken, and you can decide whether or not your end users can initiate a restore action. Here we are in User Settings, where we will create a new user setting and configure point-in-time restore. Since point-in-time restore is set up in User Settings, if you decide to change the configuration, you can always edit your settings, and they'll be applied to all existing as well as all new devices created for the users associated with that user setting. Point-in-time restore provides short-term restore points and long-term restore points. There are always 10 short-term restore points. I can configure the cadence for short-term restore points to be taken every 4, 6, 12, or 24 hours. If I choose to have a restore point every 4 hours, then I'll have 40 hours of total history with relatively high resolution. If I choose 24 hours, then I'll have 240 hours of history, but the resolution will be lower. The default is set to 12 hours, and we find that most of those who change the cadence change it to either 4 or 6 hours. Long-term restore points are non-configurable and are saved every week. There are 4 long-term restore points, so I can go back as much as 4 weeks in case of a scenario where I may need to return my Cloud PC to a point in time in the more distant past. This is generally used for scenarios like a user coming back from a long vacation and finding an issue, malware, ransomware, or something else of that nature when the issue isn't discovered for a longer period of time. While we're in the user settings page, you can see that I'm also able to specify whether a user is able to perform a restore themselves. It's easy for either the administrator to restore a Cloud PC for a user, or for a user, if given the permission, to restore the Cloud PC on their own. Let's look at how this happens. Here we are back in Anna Bowman's Cloud PC. From here, there are a couple of ways that I, as an administrator, can perform restore actions on behalf of the user. Either navigating to the restore points in the left panel, or choosing the restore feature at the top. For the purpose of this refresher, we'll just click on the restore function at the top bar. For those of you who are extra observant, you may have already spotted our first announcement, as you can see that the preview tag is missing from point-in-time restore, and I'm excited to say that point-in-time restore is now generally available for all cloud PCs in both public and government clouds. That's really exciting news, but let me continue on with our refresher before I share the next announcement. When I click on Restore, the available restore points are listed. Two things you'll notice here are first, this cloud PC was only recently provisioned, so I don't have any long-term restore points yet. If this were a more mature cloud PC, I would have a total of 14 restore points, with 4 of them being long-term or weekly restore points. Second, it's easy for me to identify exactly the point in time I'm restoring to, just by looking at the label associated with each restore point. I'm going to just choose the latest restore point and then click Select. I'm given a warning that if there's data that has been saved only on my cloud PC between the date and time of the restore point I'm choosing and now, that this data will be permanently lost. I'll click Restore, and the restoration process is started. It takes about the same amount of time to restore a machine as it takes for a device to be provisioned. And then Anna's cloud PC will be exactly as it was at the date and time that the restore point was created. I also want to mention that although I won't demonstrate this today, multiple cloud PCs can be restored with one action using bulk restore in Intune. One of the things I'm most proud of with point-in-time restore is that practically every time I demonstrate it, I have folks tell me they can't believe how easy it is and that it just works. Now I need to provide some quick context in preparation for my second announcement. As you know, business continuity and disaster recovery is hard. It's even harder with remote desktops. You need to have folks from compute, storage, applications, network, and user data, to name a few, all come together and decide how to recover in the case of device failures, power failures, network failures, and so on. After you've decided what to do, it can take months or even years to build and test the environments. Finally, you dread ever having to use your disaster recovery protocol because it's often complicated, and by definition, you're going to use it at a time of high stress. Azure has resources in multiple geographies, each called a region. Inside of many regions, Azure has multiple availability zones that are often just called zones. I don't have time to completely cover Azure region and zone architecture in this session, but as a quick summary, every region that Windows 365 is supported in has multiple zones. Zones are physically separated. Although not an exact analogy, think about separate data centers. In addition to physical separation, each zone has discrete power, internet connections, heatings, cooling, and so forth. Cloud PCs for each of our customers are distributed across zones in the region. Inside of each zone, Azure itself does some very smart things to ensure reliability. As an example, Azure continually monitors compute, and if compute is disrupted or is predicted to be disrupted, workloads are moved seamlessly to alternate resources within the zone. By virtue of running in Azure, cloud PCs have always enjoyed the reliability advantages provided to all Azure workloads. If possible, my second announcement is even more exciting than the first. We are announcing that as of now, in addition to the reliability assurances provided within an Azure zone, every cloud PC, in the event of a zone failure, has the ability to recover to a different zone that has available capacity within the region. I want to address a few of the most common questions we've heard as we've evaluated potential disaster recovery solutions. First, BCDR is often expensive. How much is adding cross-zone point-in-time restore going to add to the cost of my cloud PC? The answer is nothing. Cross-zone point-in-time restore is included as standard with every cloud PC with no change in price. Second, what do I need to do to enable the feature? The answer again is nothing. Point-in-time restore for cross-zone is already automatically enabled and available on every cloud PC. Finally, and this is the best part, how hard is it and what do I have to learn to be able to recover a cloud PC during an outage? Again, if you know how to use point-in-time restore, the answer is you don't have to learn anything new. It happens automatically when you initiate a restore. Now, although this makes for a boring and redundant demonstration to what we've already seen, let me explain how it works. If there's a zone outage and your users are not able to access their cloud PC, if you or your user initiates a restore, Windows 365 will automatically discover that the physical Azure resource where your cloud PC was provisioned is not available, and will automatically look for capacity in another zone in the region and restore your cloud PC to that zone. Because the zone where the cloud PC is restored is in the same region, the user experience and cloud PC performance will be consistent with the original cloud PC. Further, because the restored device is in the same region, there's no need to fail back to the original zone after the zones are restored. As I've said, I'm very excited to announce general availability and zone recovery for point-in-time restore. This is one of the most exciting features I've ever had the opportunity to work on in any product. Thank you again for your time. Nandita, would you like to finish us off?
Thanks, Doug. We have covered a lot of exciting features today. To summarize, here's the list of all the capabilities we shared with you today. We're excited about the benefits that these features are going to provide in making Windows 365 even more manageable, efficient, and resilient. All the features are now available with Windows 365 Enterprise Edition, so please go try and let us know your feedback. While we are excited about all the new features that we launched, as you can guess, we are not stopping there. Let me also share some things that we are currently working on. One, we have heard that there are many times when resizing a single device doesn't cover all the use cases. So we'll be providing bulk resize that works with group-based licensing. Two, we are creating AI enabled right sizing to help scale and automate your Windows 365 deployments to help you be even more responsive and efficient. Three, we will provide more flexibility to admins and users by providing settings for admins to enable end users to reset and resize their own devices. Four, we'll be continually delivering more insights on CPC performance and more alerting flexibility and rules. And last, we will also continue to provide even deeper insights and remediation paths for connection reliability. With that, thanks for watching. And as next steps, sign up for a trial now if you haven't already. Go to the Learn page for Enterprise to learn about all the new features. And do remember to keep sharing your feedback. Thanks, Doug, and thanks to all of you for joining us today.